Now, in the process of building the internet, you might have noticed that we used layers of abstraction. So if you've taken, hopefully, any computer science course, you've seen layers of abstraction before. Now, we love layers of abstraction. They're great because they allow us to hide lower-level implementations from higher-level implementations that don't have to think about it. So for example, if I have these 3 layers of abstraction, I have the first building block of moving bits, the second building block of creating links using the first layer, and then the top layer of connecting up local networks. I can change what I'm doing at layer 1. For example, I could take my wires and I could swap them with some wireless technology. And that doesn't really affect how the higher layers are working. The higher layers just rely on something that moves bits across space. It can be using wires. It could be using optical fibers or wireless technology. For the perspective of these higher layers, it doesn't really matter what layer 1 protocol is being used. So this allows us to work on each of these layers separately. Some engineer can come in and decide, actually, you know what? I don't think we should use ponies to carry mail. I think we should use a truck instead. And that doesn't change the fact that the post offices still work like before, and the apartment complexes are still connected as before. The only thing you changed is you swap the post office or the pony with a truck. So that's something you can do because we built the internet using layers of abstraction. OK, that was your simplified mail analogy view of the internet. Now we'll make it a bit more concrete and show you actually how the internet is built with no more ponies or pigeons, but with actual computer technology. So once again, layers of abstraction is the key idea here. So as another example of layers of abstraction, your computer also operates on layers of abstraction. So if you're still not convinced that this is a good idea, consider your computer. When you write code, are you thinking about the voltage levels on the wires in your computer as you're writing code? I'm not thinking about that. I'm thinking about the code, and then my code maybe calls some system call in my operating system, and then my operating system interacts with the hardware in my computer, and then the hardware is the one thinking about the voltage levels. So what's important here is that when I'm writing code, I'm not thinking about what's happening down here. I don't care if a wire in my computer has high voltage or low voltage. I'm thinking up here, and I'm writing code. And similarly, if someone was working on developing a computer and thinking about the voltage levels and the device drivers in hardware, they don't have to think about the code that I'm writing either. So it's nice and separated into layers. So the internet generally looks the same. We've done our best to split the internet up into layers. And at each layer, there's some protocol that relies on services below it. So for example, the code that I write relies on the operating system. The operating system relies on the hardware to work. And each layer provides services to higher layers. So for example, the voltage levels provide something that the operating system can use. And the operating system provides functions that I, as the programmer, can use. So it's kind of similar to what you've seen when you're writing code or when you're thinking about how a computer is built. But we're thinking about it in terms of how the internet was designed.